Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King, and I'm back with part 2 of What If Naruto Was Amazo from the Justice League series. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 more channels. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Symbol, Anime Prince, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. I just posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Obsessed with Being Perfect, so go ahead and check out that over on Anime King 2. And remember, guys, don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see when I post, because I do post a hell of a lot. So without further ado or wasting more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode? Let us begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, Naruto did not know as he visited the shack in the woods. A shack that once belonged to Mito. Yes, Mito Uzumaki. Mito had been working on a seal, something that would transcend the normal trait of Fuinjutsu. She was going above and beyond. However, as Naruto got to the location, his lack of reading and him rushing in had him mistakenly activating the seal. Mito had left only one prototype left. Only one, as she wanted to go back to it, but she never got the time. Unfortunately though, Naruto was rushed. He was rushing into things, not quite understanding or knowing. The seal almost killed him and the Nine Tails. Around 90% of the Nine Tails chakra was brought out in order to save his life. Yes, around a good 90%. Upon getting back to his apartment, Naruto slept for days. It was Aruka and the Hokage that arrived. When they brought Naruto to the hospital, after waking up, Naruto felt different. He felt very different. They were able to track his location. Hiruzen knew that this place should have been condemned a long time ago, but he forgot about it. When Naruto woke up though, he went there. He used his blood to activate the seal as he took all the scrolls. He did not lie about anything, as Naruto now knew. He was able to speak to the Nine Tails inside of him. As Naruto started to learn a lot, he was able to speak to the beasts that understand as well. Naruto's body became something amazing. It became something truly defying law and order. The stabilizing agent was a Nine Tails chakra that turned Naruto into a literal mechanism of understanding and power. You see, Mito was working on a self-replicating, a self-understanding prototype seal that would allow all of their forces to get the advantage on the enemy. However, Naruto's seal with the Nine Tails, it became a link, a mimicry of it, making it stronger and always advancing. Hiruzen started to see changes within Naruto. The seal tempered his personality and affected him in many different ways. As Naruto started to truly look into things, learning secrets about his life, understanding things, it wasn't bringing him down a dark path. If anything, it was bringing him down a scientific path. As Naruto was learning that, the seal was incomplete, but due to the absorption and understanding mechanism of the seal, it was constantly evolving, constantly learning. As Naruto was isolating fragments of people and learning it rather easily. as he was isolating different genetical structures, the fire from Sasuke due to his link to the Uchiha clan. When he met Kakashi Hatake, Naruto was able to isolate the electricity, the lightning element, even against Mizuki. Just after a few weeks, Naruto proved to have grown leaps and bounds on his strength. It was truly ridiculous. He defeated Sasuke in one-on-one, shocking many by that, as they couldn't believe it. For Sasuke though, it became an obsession, always being seen as the best, the strongest. To lose like that, it physically made him ill, and he wanted answers, but all Naruto gave him was, "I'm evolving." Upon being placed on Team 7, he went toe-to-toe with a copy ninja. It didn't seem like Naruto was stronger, but the utility, what was at his disposal, made him wild, unpredictable, and crazy powerful. Kakashi found himself being pushed hard, pressed as Naruto proved to be, growing constantly, becoming more and more superior in every single way, causing Kakashi to wonder exactly what was he. When the match was over, Kakashi spoke to Hiruzen. Hiruzen told him the truth of everything about what was going on, but he feared that this kind of power would get out of hand. He feared that the reveal of this power will be something that was truly detrimental for the entire world, on how it would change the world. For now, he was keeping things under wrap. That is why he was constantly speaking to Naruto. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place, check out for yourselves to begin this new episode. Hiruzen Sarutobi sat within his office, paperwork in front of him, but his mind was astray. For the past couple of weeks, the Genin teams have been performing D-rank missions, advancing in their careers. But his concern lay with the young child Naruto. Hiruzen had seen obsessions. It brought him back to a time where he saw it with his own eyes. The constant hunger to learn, the constant hunger to adapt. But it wasn't learning in the safe way. To learn by breaking boundaries, by breaking normalcy. He saw it all back then. But what did he do? He looked away in his own way, telling himself that nothing was wrong, that his student was just special. And look at him now, one of the most wanted criminals across the elemental nation. Kakashi reports have been coming in almost daily. Naruto started to get a craving, get a lust for this new way of becoming better. That is how we describe it. This new way of becoming more than what he is. This way that transcends normal shinobi training. Kakashi kept on recording Naruto remarks into his head, listening to what Naruto was saying, the way he described his new Amazo bloodline. It was not a bloodline. It was a fabrication of Fuinjutsu. But seeing that he was the only one, he said that he was, well, the one that get to name it. And he would refer to it as a bloodline, Amazo, because it was amazing. Thus he called it better than any, greater than the rest. He started talking strange ways, saying that physical training was obsolete. Hiruzen had tried to calm him, knowing that soon enough the entire village, those that were really up there, would be aware of this, and they would want to discuss it. Some of them, though, would not look out for the safety of Naruto, mentally or physically. They would just want to know how it would make Konoha stronger, while Hiruzen would want to make the village stronger as well. He cared about everyone, concerned for their health, physically and mentally as well. And he could see it right now, that Naruto was changing. and not for the better. The problem was, while Naruto might call it a bloodline, it was definitely not. This was literally in his genetical structure. He had the doctors study every aspect of him while he was unconscious. They could not power it down unless they seal Naruto. And that means restricting his chakra, restricting him from being a ninja. But that was the extreme levels. But Hiruzen was afraid, not just for Naruto but for the future as well. Given the path that Naruto was going down, he was deeply concerned. As we speak, Team 7 had just left for their first mission outside the village. This will give them a chance to see how he perform, how he react while on a real mission, while exposed to the outside world. While he was there thinking, the demon brothers had struck. Kakashi Hatake faked his death, pretending like his life had been taken. But this was just to test them in more ways than one. Gosu and Miyaizu came down like death itself. Having taken out the strongest, they believed the children will be no threat. The chain that was linking the both of them lashed out. Sasuke moved, but he was bested. His anger surged as Naruto bypassed him. He spoke as he did. "Leave this to me," he said. The arrogance, the cockiness in his tone. Sasuke was angered. But Naruto wasn't trying to be. It was the way he was feeling. Over the weeks that passed by, the Amazo bloodline was evolving even more, becoming stronger. Remember the limitations that it had due to the lack of information that Shikamaru possessed about his own bloodline. However, the supplementing that Naruto got from Kurenai UI, with her having a vast knowledge on yin and yang due to her genjutsus, started to provide the basic attachment for the shadow possession jutsu, allowing Naruto to combine them. He was advancing, he was growing, he was evolving in ways that was never seen before. Naruto grabbed the chain, shocking the demon brothers. Not only did they swing it with enough force to hit him back, but the blades that were on it. He grabbed the chain and started to squeeze, showing that his physical strength had grown extremely. As he held it there was two of them, and as they pulled, they could not take it away from Naruto. They detached it as they went around to take him out from the other sides. Sasuke saw his opportunity as he leaped, threw in a kunai and shuriken, but Naruto thanked him. Yes, he did. He thanked him for it. Naruto went through hand sign. Despite Sasuke being the one to throw the weapons, he seemed to have taken control. They multiplied. The shuriken jutsu, something that Sasuke knew rather well, but not in this quantity. The demon brothers were good ninjas, but they were not that good. The overwhelming amount, it ripped into them due to the numbers as it tore into them, some bypassing and slamming into their chests. Blood started to gush. As Naruto watched, he saw it, his eyes being able to isolate the exact moment. He saw as they took their final breath, his hands having stained the earth, drawing blood. He was supposed to feel bad, concern, yes, even though they were the enemy, knowing that his innocents were taken, his first killing. However, Naruto simply found the amplification of death intriguing. Something was wrong with him. Very, very wrong. In his own way. The more he grew, the more he advanced, the more he adapted. The more of his humanity he was losing. The more he was becoming truly powerful. Mito had created a seal, allowing their own shinobis to have a step up on their enemies by knowing everything that they can do. But she never expected that the seal would be advanced in this way. that certain measures would be taken by Naruto's own body, and the nine-tailed chakra being the catalyst to turn it into this. Kakashi revealed that he was still amongst the land of the living as he watched Naruto. After making sure the bodies were out of the way, they agreed that they would continue even though they were lied to. Even Naruto said that he desired to help, but Kakashi doubted that was all, if it was even a bit of it, judging by the reaction. He spoke to Naruto along the way, telling him that all shinobis have to kill in their career, it was a part of it. However, the calculating response that seemed so well written down, coming from no part of emotion, had him truly concerned, very much so. However, on the inside, Naruto still retained who he is, but he was simply trying to understand the full scope of what he was doing. The mere notion of shutting off emotions and becoming something all-powerful and emotionless was something that Naruto despised. He wasn't a bad person. It was just, there was a certain pull, a certain attraction to learn and understand. His abilities seemed limitless, and Naruto intended to prove if that was truth or it was false. Time skip. Naruto analyzed every moment of the battle between Zabuza and Kakashi. He just stood there and watched. What Kakashi and Zabuza both noticed, the bloodlust did not affect Naruto, not in the slightest. He did not even look disturbed. He wasn't bothered, while the other two seemed to be struggling under the weight, along with Tazuna as well. Kakashi got captured as he was knocked onto the water, as Naruto was perceiving it all. The enzymes that Sasuke's brain produced that awakened the Sharingan, Naruto's body had taken the full copy of it, remember? However, the lack of activation was proven to be stagnant on his part. But the Amazo bloodline was constantly evolving. Kakashi was captured. What none of them expected was, the moment the copy ninja was captured was Naruto standing on the water, as Kakashi did not teach him that. Zabuza tried to fight Naruto off with one hand, swinging the blade, but Naruto dodged each strike. To make matters worse, he purposely put his hands behind his back and dodged all of the strikes. They believed that Naruto was being arrogant and toying with him. However, Naruto was simply limiting himself to push himself once again beyond the limit, to see every single pattern, even future pattern, by estimating everything. While his bloodline was proven to be efficient, Naruto's mind was also growing along with it in a different way, observing pattern. Despite Sasuke not having the Sharingan, the observation, due to this special teaching of many different members within Kiri when it came to the mist, Naruto's eyes were sharpened, as Zabuza was a very special person. It wasn't just his power as well, as Naruto was starting to tap deeper within the genetical code of people. That is why he was testing himself. Despite being in the depths of the battlefield, knowing that at any moment, one mistake, and he started to glimpse into the future. Not in reality, but his mind as he tried to create the perfect move that Zabuza would do. But he messed up. Zabuza's blade swing. It was inches away from taking Naruto's head off. However, Naruto's hand twisted, as you can see. The blade formed large, colossal, blocking Zabuza's blade, but knocking Naruto back on the water. But he pulled his arm out. Zabuza had his eyes focused on Naruto, not realizing that Naruto had slashed right through the water prison, chakra amplifying his new special weapon. Kakashi delivered a brutal kick that stunned the demon. Kakashi followed up with a backhand that sent him rolling. He raised a hand stopping Naruto. telling him that he had the rest of it covered. And he did. Naruto watched as the hunter nin came down, claiming that he ended the life of Zabuza Momochi. Naruto watched, his eyes glowing white, intrigued and surprised to what he saw. However, he did not complain or say a single word. He observed. He wanted to see. Thus, he was putting everything at risk, just to test. This is the obsession that Hiruzen was talking about. The obsession to test something even when it means people's life was at risk. When they got back, teaching Naruto was out of the question. Kakashi was trying to focus on the basics, but the basics was not needed. Sakura watched as Naruto made his way off, surprised that he was so different. Everything about him. Remembering when he was a goof, always asking her out. But since becoming a part of Team 7, he barely glanced towards her like she existed. He barely talked to any of them. She released a sigh, not knowing why that bugs her. After all, it was Naruto the idiot, right? She told herself, and yet the fact that he was barely looking her way anymore bugs her a bit. Time skip. Naruto sat on the water. Sakura looking at him in surprise. Sasuke with envy, as he could not do that. He was taking deep breaths in and out, as Naruto could feel every part of himself, creating weapons from his body. His molecular structure actually broke down to form the weapons. His inside, using chakra, using his own strength to manifestate different raw materials. The seal was a big part of that. However, Naruto was calm in his mind, as he could feel every part of himself building, reconstructing, breaking down. Despite it not physically being seen, it was going on under the surface. Within the mindscape though, Kurama watched, still having returned to his full size, as he could see the patterns of the seal. However, something else. The seal was a part of Naruto, but it seemed like it hadn't fully merged because of the constant evolution. But he could see it woven in his heart, his brain, his very being. It was bonding to him in a way that it was never supposed to. Thus far, they had surpassed every record of what Mito Uzumaki wanted, as Naruto was operating on a much higher level, and it was continuously upgrading and evolving into something better, into something greater, into something way more terrifying in every single way. As the time passed, even as Iniri cursed at them, saying that they were going to die, Naruto did not feel the same way. He did not shout, he did not make a fuss. He did not bother to say anything. He just observed. Naruto burned himself out. Close to the final day, he pushed himself. All Team 7 knew was Naruto returned, seeming tired. The problem was, Naruto never seemed tired. So what exactly did he do? He did not even eat, he went straight to sleep. The next morning they could not wake him, so they leave him behind. Naruto was awoken to ruckus and shouting. Pulling himself up, he looked at his hands. As he smiled to himself, he took a breath, and it was chilling. However, the noise did not stop as he looked through the window to see Tsunami being knocked out and Iniri rush into the bandits. As they had came for the both of them, he drew his blade, intending on removing Iniri's head. Naruto stood there for a moment as he watched, but he had no intention of letting the child get harmed in the slightest. Both men found themselves stuck. Iniri had his eyes closed. He did not see the both of them turning on each other and driving the blade in their own chests. Their shadows being controlled. When Iniri opened his eyes, it was the Naruto grabbing his head as he threw a punch. But Naruto held him back. Easy, he said. They've been taken care of, as he saw the two men lying there, before two clones of Naruto picked them up and discarded of their corpse. That was 4 persons now that had died by his hands. Naruto headed straight towards the bridge. Sakura saw him as she breathed a sigh of relief. She was talking, but Naruto wasn't paying attention as he looked towards the massive ice mirrors. He stepped forward. It was easy to get inside. When Sasuke saw him, he shouted, calling him an idiot for coming in. However, Naruto did not pay attention to what he was saying. For a moment, Naruto's hair turned black. His eyes flashed red before he returned back to normal. Something still blocking him from fully manifesting. Sasuke was confused, but they were attacked. Haku saw the opportunity and leaped out of the mirrors. Naruto could see Haku very closely, but Naruto was intrigued by how his body simply merged and emerged. Sasuke was inches away from his demise, but Naruto was much more interested in what Haku just did. He had to forcefully snap his mind back into focus, realizing that Sasuke would die. Haku's speed made him what he is, so he never understand or expected. As Naruto casually grabbed his wrist, he looked up, eyes filled with impossibility, not quite understanding. You have given me a wonderful gift. The collaboration of wind and water, the molding and twisting. It differs from jutsus that connected to any optical nerves. The raw fluctuation of power, molding it precisely. I've been trying. I'm curious about the exact amount. Haku's arm shot up and hit Naruto right in the throat. Naruto staggered back, but his grip did not release. Haku was confused as he dropped and swung a kick. He hit Naruto's leg, while Naruto's leg did raise, but the notion of pain did not show that much. As Naruto coughed, "You're strong and fast, but not enough." Naruto raised him with one hand and bashed him into the bridge. Haku cried out in pain, not expecting that. Another. He could feel his bones creaking before breaking. Naruto threw him into the steel beam. He cried out as he felt the strain on his back. He staggered. Naruto appeared and kicked him. Instead of going into the mirror, he smashed right through it. He spat up blood, the mask falling off his face. He tried to crawl away. Naruto reached down and picked him up by the hair. "I wasn't done talking," he said. "You interrupted me." Even Sasuke felt off-put by this strange detachment as he fought. "To thank you for this gift, I will spare your life. An exchange for a return. Go ahead," Naruto said, turning his back. However, it was for the first time Haku felt disrespected in a way, knowing his master goal and desire. Usually he was the one that, preached about peace, but the clear disrespect something triggered inside of him. He got up, needles ready to stab in Naruto's neck. It was Sasuke. "Behind you!" Naruto turned. Kakashi and Zabuza was clashing when suddenly they jumped apart. A massive ice spike ran from the head, tearing through freezing over the bridge, right down the center. It kept on to the edge. The both of them were shocked. Zabuza looked at the ice, knowing that Haku no longer operated in this way, knowing that he no longer used his ability in this way. He was more for efficient speed. He would only do this if something was wrong. He saw it. Haku's chest was burst open, the ice erupting out of his back. Naruto's hand on the front of his chest. Naruto looked down to his fingers, the tips of it. It was chilling. Interesting, he said. It seems surprise and a bit of excitement works in a beautiful way. Oh, you're dead, Naruto said. It wasn't just the chest area alone. The chill spread. It was like a virus with ice. You could see Haku's body turning blue. When Naruto pulled his hand back, his body shattered. Zabuza, overwhelmed. Despite calling him his tool, despite pretending like he did not care, his first reaction, Naruto just pulled his arm back. Kakashi shouted for him to move. Due to the ice formation, he wouldn't make it on time. Naruto turned as Zabuza slashed, tearing through him, his blade coated with chakra. It was Sasuke that first saw it, as blood hit him in the face. Zabuza held his blade. Naruto had been torn in half. Kakashi froze as he stood there. Zabuza looked towards him, trying to placate what happened despite knowing that the loss of Haku affected him. A student for a student, he said. Sasuke looked down towards his hand. The blood that had hit him, it was ice. They all watched in shock as Naruto's body was pulled back together. There was no blood, simply a frozen mist pulling him back together. The moment his body stuck back together, he blinked. Amazing, he said. Could you believe it? I almost moved, but I could feel it. The constant experimenting to push myself. I could tell that my bloodline was getting deeper into my genetical traits. I just needed to shock my system enough to evolve it even more. It was a gamble. If I failed, I would have died. I almost moved. Even as I saw you, even as I saw your weapon, I thought about my life. I weighed the pros and cons, and I went through with it. Kakashi understood what Naruto was saying and he was furious, but this was no time. Zabuza twists and bring his blade down, but Naruto grabbed it and freeze it. Zabuza watched as the ice ran up. He released it. Naruto held the new blade in his hand. The ice fell off, the rest of it fusing into the weapon. Naruto slammed it into the bridge. Ice erupted out, forcing Zabuza on the edge as he jumped to the water. Naruto leaped. When he hit the water, that entire area froze. I'm not done with you yet. You helped me evolve. Now help me gain more experience. Naruto, move. Zabuza tried to keep up. How is this? Naruto was using every one of his moves. Not to mention his speed, he was getting faster. Naruto smirked as he plunged the blade into the water. Zabuza jumped, believing that he timed it. However, what he didn't expect was for the entire section to erupt. Immediately, he summoned the water from the left before it could be froze over and crushed some of the ice as he landed. But his leg was skewered though. Better that than his life. He ripped his leg out as he started to run on the ice. Fleeing away, his leg bleeding badly, injured. He had no choice. Naruto was going after him until he saw the boats. Naruto stopped. Perfect, he said. Kakashi ran to the end of the bridge. When he saw the boats as well, and the numerous ninjas, he shouted Naruto's name. However, that is when he saw his breath. That is when he felt the chilling sensation. Gato's man and Gato at the head of the boat saw something in the distance. What is that? Gato said. Wait, what is? It was over. Massive ice shards exploded out rough, deadly. They not only ripped through the boat, their quantity was so large that the number was exceedingly greater than the members that were there. Their body was skewered, ripped to shreds. Just like that. The greatest threat of the land of wave was over. As Naruto stood there, watching, he held his hand out. As he held it, ice shoot out of it in a frosty state, freezing the entire place in front of him. However, it then withered away. The molecular density was still off a bit. Naruto thought to himself, his eyes flashing red. He proceeded to relinquish the ice. As he placed his hand on it, you could see the changes. All of the boats, including the bodies, start to go down. The ice in their lungs, still frozen inside of them, weighted them down. Naruto watched as he jumped back up to the top. Kakashi was pissed. Sakura and Sasuke heard Kakashi's voice from the other side. He shouted at Naruto for being reckless, for being stupid. Naruto's mind was working in a strange way. There was so many ways he wanted to react to Kakashi, but instead, he took a moment. He apologized. But Kakashi wasn't going to forgive this so easily. For him doing something so stupid, so moronic. He almost died, trying to test something. He purposely got himself slashed in half. The mere fact that he was still breathing was a shock. Kakashi was pissed off by Naruto's behavior, by Naruto's stupidness. He would be reporting this to the Hokage. While Kakashi cursed at him, when the villagers found out, they praised his name, like he was some sort of deity, like he was a god. Zabuza, on one of the many other islands, patched up his leg, bladeless, weaponless. His goal was to make that brat suffer for what he did. He tried to tell himself that Haku was nothing, but the image of Haku kept on popping into his mind. He would get revenge for Haku by removing that brat's head. If he cannot be killed by severing him in half, he would crush his skull, and he would not stop until he achieved it. Time skip. Kakashi did not wait. He told Hiruzen what happened. The Hokage was furious. This is exactly what he was worrying about. He was furious. He was angry. And he made Naruto know that punishing Team 7 would be punishing the other two as well. Thus, that was not in the order. However, both men were displeased greatly. Hiruzen couldn't exactly forbid Naruto from using his technique. It was a part of him. He wouldn't even know. He had to call in someone else, an expert. Hiruzen was known as a professor. However, he did not excel in sealing arts as many believe. Yes, he knew a lot, but you had someone that called himself a seal master because he focused directly on that art. It was early, but he had no choice. Hiruzen called for Jiraiya. He had to come back to the village. They need to find a way to isolate the Amazo seal inside of Naruto and shut it down, or get rid of it completely. They need to do it, as Hiruzen knew that this thing was going to destroy Naruto. They had to stop it immediately. Time skip. Kakashi still hadn't gotten over it. 6 months of non-stop missions, as Naruto was on his best behavior every single time, but the copy ninja was still bringing it up with every mistake that Naruto made to make sure he never do something that stupid or moronic ever again. Jiraiya came back to the village after the first month. He got all the notes that the specialists there were able to gather. He studied it. He watched Naruto, staying out of his point of view. Jiraiya got the original seal. Well, from what he was able to put together, but he was still missing so many components. And due to Naruto being special, he didn't know if him being a Uzumaki was a part of it as well. There were so many unknowns, as he found himself trying his best to learn how to help him. As Hiruzen told him that Naruto reminded him of Orochimaru, that sent shivers down his spine. Naruto was being constantly watched, constantly monitored, but he wasn't doing anything bad. In fact, he seemed to be taking their shouting at him to heart and trying to do better. Well, that is what it seemed from the outside. However, it was not. The Chunin exams. It was coming around. Participants from all over. Word was spreading. Konoha, the greatest village, was. They were promoting the Chunin exam this time. And everyone was coming to see the future potential, the future power, the future greatness. It was going to be spectacular. At the moment Naruto gazed at his 3-totem Sharingan, a lot had happened in the past 6 months. The Amazo bloodline was evolving to ridiculous heights, even breaking Naruto expectations. As Naruto started to learn everything in a way that he never learned before. The Nine-Tails was not pleased when he saw his eyes, but Naruto did not care that much. The first phase was copy. Naruto had collected the blueprint of the Sharingan. Think of it like that. The second phase was auto-optimize. His body began to improve the blueprints to its best version. The third phase was activation. He activated the copy Sharingan. It started with the 2-totem, a baseline operational form. His system would not replicate the weaker form. The 2-totem was the first baseline operational form, not the one, due to it being the optimizational form. Within hours, it evolved into the 3-totem. His body started to fully adjust to peak performance. He did not need any trauma. He did not need any emotional trigger. His system upgraded the eyes to fight, to max them out to their true potential. However, collecting everything that he's copied so far, the enhanced predictions was a step above the others. It was pushed to different heights. He had the normal chakra vision, the perfect clarity. The movement tracker was on another level as well. The slow motion predictions as well. Naruto eyes was pushed to another level. Extremely so. Not to mention the illusions that follow. While Sasuke might not, Kunai illusions were special upon their own. Having the Sharingan now, the baser line of her yin-yang training was starting to affect Naruto as well. It seems like one was reacting to the other. Due to Mito never creating the Amazo bloodline to work this way, it was all new and functioning in a different way. It was evolving to reach its true peak, its true potential. His body was creating the more superior version of everything. He had longer vision, faster tracking, better genjutsu, zero chakra drain. The eyes were not fully maxed out or evolved, but there shall be no future blindness. Not that he know of that just yet. The past 6 months have been exhilarating for Naruto, one after another, truly breaking down the essence of Haku's technique. But it wasn't just that. The techniques were merging together, complementing one another. The base was becoming to show. It was a few days ago when he scanned a Konoha shinobi, and it was instantly that he learned their moves, showing that the Amazo technique reached a new level of copying and understanding. Things were changing, his perception, everything around him. He was aware that he was being watched, constantly monitored. He supposed they were afraid of what he's becoming, afraid of his new sight of seeing everything, not in a standard way that is. Naruto was given permission along with the others to join the Chunin exams. He was intrigued, learning abilities from all other nations. The thought alone made him salivate. He was intrigued, he was excited to his very core. His aptitude for showing up early, wanting to prove to the copy ninja that he was no longer a problem, in his own way of getting them off his back, caused him to miss Gaara and his group. Yes, as the Sand team was making their way, Naruto did not see them. He missed them. However, he would see them soon enough. When everyone arrived, they made their way inside. Sakura was nervous, very much so, but she did not want to hold the team back. But she was really nervous about the exam. But Team 7 wasn't exactly close. While they were a team, they did not hang out. They did not talk to one another. They barely acknowledged each other outside of, well, being a team, which wasn't a good thing, not in the slightest. But she hoped this can make them closer, because the way things was going, Sasuke seemed to just hate Naruto even more, and Naruto's lack of caring made things a lot worse. Yes, it did. Upon entering the first phase, illusions were nothing to Naruto. None of them knew about his eyes. When Naruto arrived there and the others started to enter, Kiba and the others questioned what was going on. They noticed the difference in Naruto. It was Kiba that saw him, wondering why he was staying away over here by himself. But Naruto was simply observing the others. His eyes swept over. His eyes was flashing white on everyone, one by one until he came across a red head. That is when Naruto got another taste of something truly spectacular. His body started to break it down in a different way. Naruto looked at Gaara. Gaara felt the sensation and turned, immediately hating Naruto, hating when people look at him for too long. But Naruto did not care, not in the slightest. He was interrupted when Kiba interrupted him. Naruto knocked his hand away. "Leave me alone," he said. He was annoyed as Kiba broke his concentration. Sakura was questioned as the others looked towards Naruto. She told them that he's been acting strange ever since they became Team 7. She doesn't really know. He was different. She hadn't even knocked him away or hit him in the slightest. She was afraid to do so, as his eyes sometimes terrified her, the way he looked so indifferent towards her and everything around him. As they ventured on the first phase of the test, Naruto was insulted by how obvious it was. The second phase was the forest of death. Anko Midarashi trying to scare them. Naruto scanned her as well. He smiled as he did. Anko thought that he was flirting with her, given that he was smiling and eyeing her like she was a piece of meat, but in his eyes she was. As Naruto continued on, he did not care much about the scroll as Sasuke took it. "Okay," Sakura said. "So what's our plan?" Find a team and take their scroll, Sasuke said. But can we? I agree, said Naruto. This was probably the first time they were agreeing on something like this. Let's go. She felt abandoned, like she didn't have a say, like the two of them did not really care. She knew that they both had other things going on, but were they even a team? She questioned herself. As they continue on, Naruto pinpointed a team, knowing their exact location. Sasuke questioned him how he knew that, but Naruto shrugged him off, not giving him any detail, not in the slightest. As they continue on, they were interrupted though, as Naruto turned and looked up. What is it? Sakura said. We're being watched. Standing behind the tree was a grass kunoichi. She seemed intrigued. He noticed me, she said. She was surprised. She stepped out, revealing herself as Naruto called out, I know you're there. She clapped. I must say, I'm intrigued that you notice me. Most are unable to detect me, especially one so young. She jumped down. She noticed his eyes flash white. However, when his features change, his hair turning dark, his eyes turning gold and slitted in a way resembling her true form. How is that? Her mask slipped for a moment. She looked at the boy, confused. What did you just do? She said. Ah, so you're no normal shinobi, said Naruto. But this... What are you? He said. Naruto seemed so fascinated, so intrigued by this threat in front of him. The woman approached. Seems like we have someone special with us, she said. Let us see how special you are. She went through hand sign. A powerful wind jutsu that tore the entire place apart, swept through the area. Sakura and Sasuke were knocked away. Naruto, on the other hand, he didn't move. She was stunned, as Naruto was in front of her, just a few feet away. He studied her with his eyes, showing no sign of attacking. The complexity of what you are, it's so interesting, said Naruto. Did you do this to yourself? He said. Show me your true form. This disguise, I can see through it. Show me what you truly are, Naruto said, reaching out. She moved away from him, but his hand still grazed her. She saw it. Ice. However, the ice ran up her skin like a virus. She was confused as she tore the face away. It cracked into nothingness, revealing the true face of Orochimaru. What was that? That was a Yuki bloodline. How is that possible? How did you use it like that? Tell me, child. His voice sounded more like himself now. Ah, you're Orochimaru, Naruto said. You know, your former teacher thinks about you when he looks at me. He accidentally spoke out loud once. Concerned for my safety because I remind him of you. I had been curious. I did my research. It couldn't be the drunken slob or the pervert. I was surprised that all the Sanin had a rather unflattering traits. You, on the other hand, the criminal mastermind that is feared by nations. I must say, it's an honor. Well. I don't usually receive this kind of support. Orochimaru said. I must say, it's a delightful feeling. Well, don't let it get to you. I am going to kill you, said Naruto. You are? Yes. There shall be no escape. No hiding away. You will die in this forest, by my hands. I would say that I'm doing it for Konoha, but just because you're going to die, I can tell you the truth. I'm not. I'm doing it to test myself. No wonder Hiruzen said that about you. You remind him of me. He said with a chuckle. Perhaps there is more to you than I thought, boy, he said. You don't seem to understand your situation, do you? Said Naruto. I've been itching to fight someone as strong as you. All I fought so far have been weak. I can't exactly go and attack my own villagers. That would make me look bad. But now, I can truly test. Naruto said as he clenched his fist. Orochimaru stepped back as he saw the Sharingan. However, the back of the Sharingan turned pure white, veins popping out the side of his head. They twisted and turned as Naruto gripped his head, not in pain but in delight. As he released a breath, strange things going on, constant evolution. Naruto's body then started to lengthen and change in ways that frightened the Sannin. He opened his mouth and he released a breath that spread around them, freezing the entire place around them, shocking the Sannin by the quickness of it all. As they were trapped in a massive structure of ice, similar to Haku ice mirrors, but there was no escape. Orochimaru stood there as Naruto truly changed, for the better or for the worse. Well, the Sannin did not know. However, what he was looking at was terrifying. But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.